Hello, this is Razak from DataClear. Welcome to the walkthrough video of my Google Analytics 4 or GA4 Local Studio template. Each pages of this dashboard have 5 logical structural sections. While the overview page physical structure is slightly different from the rest of the pages, the logical structure remains the same. The five sections are the navigation section at the extreme left of the dashboard, the filter section at the top of the dashboard. Then right here, we have the key metrics sections. And then we have the trend section, which is this line chart right here. And then we have the breakdown section at the bottom of the dashboard. So I believe the navigation section is quite explanatory. This is the title of the page you're currently viewing, and it is the button you can use to get the template if you believe it can help you reduce hours spent on manual reporting or help you do better analysis, which I believe it can. And at the top, we have the filter section. The filter section also houses the data control and the date range selector. Let's start with data control. The data control, when you click on it, you immediately see all the GA4 properties that your Gmail address currently have access to. So if you click on this property, the dashboard will be populated by the data from that GA4 property. And then you have the session default channel group filter here, the source and medium, country, and then device category. I believe all these filters are self-explanatory too. You can click on only to filter the entire dashboard by just one of these parameter, by one of these options here, or you can deselect all of them and just select multiple ones to select just few of the options there. It works the same way for the rest of the filter. So the date selector here, you can change the range that you want to analyze just over this, and you can select any other option. You can also select the advanced option, which is very useful for advanced analysis. And then again, you can just select the date from here. If you want to select, okay, click on the year, click on the month, and then click on the day. So that's how to use the date range selector. And then let's come to the key metrics section. You can see the title of the metric here. So you see total user, session, views, customers or purchasers, conversions, session conversion rate, total revenue, engagement rate. So you are seeing the aggregated value for the selected date range. The selected date range is the last 28 days, as you can see here from the date selector. And then we are comparing to the previous period, which of course is the previous 28 days. And the bar chart here, it's showing the trend over the last 12 months plus the current month. I'm recording this video on the 24th of December 2025. So this bar chart is showing trend of this particular metric from December of 2024 to December of 2025. And this applies to the rest of the metrics here. So you can see comparisons to the previous period and trends over the last 12 months plus the current month. And the fourth section of this dashboard is the trends section, which is this line chart right here. It allows you to see the daily breakdown, weekly breakdown, the monthly breakdown of each of these key metric already explained above. And then the default metric here is session, but anywhere you see this icon on this dashboard, it means optional metric. So if you click on it, you can change the metric that you want to see the trends of, or you can also combine multiple metrics. So if you click on total user here, you can see you now have total user here. You're seeing sessions and total users at the same time. You can click on the back arrow key to go back to default one, which is session. But that's not all. You can select another and just remove the default one, compare to, and just remove. So you can just choose any metric that you want. You can select one, you can select multiple, and then the drill option, if you click on it, you will go from daily breakdown to weekly breakdown for the selected date range. So you are seeing weekly breakdown for the last 28 days. If you click on it again, you see the monthly breakdown. But as you can see, you are seeing November 2025 and December of 2025. However, if you compare this number to the one here, it will not be the same, because for this line chart, we are seeing views for the last 28 days. So to see, to have the same consistent data, you have to select a date range that cover the entire month. For here, let me explain what I'm trying to say here. So let's say you select November. Let's say you select November only, November of 2025. You see that the session is 102,632. So as you can see here, 102,632, but we're actually concerned about this one, which is the same thing, 102,632. So if you go back, if you reset to the default settings and click to the monthly view again, you will see that November here is showing just 11,710. It's very, very different. So to see the complete, you have to select the date trend that cover that particular month. And then as you can see, this line chart is also comparing it to the previous period. So you can see the trend for the current period and the previous period. And then the last section of this dashboard is the breakdown section, as I said. So you are seeing performance by country, performance by device category, performance by days of the week, and performance by hours of the day. So it's breaking down each of the key metrics by this dimension. So you know that, okay, as you can see, you can immediately see that majority of the session are coming from the United States. And then this table allows you to compare to previous period. So we are not just seeing immediate visualization that tell you exactly what's going on. You can also compare to the previous period, and you can also just scroll down and see more country, which can be hard to see just from the visual here. And then the same thing applies to the performance by device category. So you are seeing that desktop is bringing in majority of the session, but you can also compare to the previous period and just scroll down to see the rest of the device category. And then you're seeing performance by days of the week from Sunday through Saturday. So you're seeing how many sections they are all receiving, which days of the week is sending, are you receiving the most traffic. And then the same thing applies to the hours of the day. And again, if you notice, you can see the icon, the optional metric icon here, which means you can change the metric that you want to analyze for each of this breakdown section. So that's all about the overview page. Now we will go to the user acquisition page of the dashboard. The user acquisition report. This tells you how users first find your website, and that is all it does. So if a user comes to your website via YouTube today, and then tomorrow that same user came via Google search, the user acquisition report will always report YouTube as the channel, as the channel that brought the user to your website. So the metrics, the key metrics for this page are total users, engage or active users, new users. You have average session per users, user conversion rate, and the average engagement time per user. The section for this dashboard is virtually the same thing as the overview page, like I said in the overview during the overview page. But you can see there is a new section at the extreme right here, and then you have a full table here. So the breakdown section is only the difference between the overview and the rest of the pages. So as you can see, it's also giving the aggregated value and then comparison to the previous period, and then you're also seeing trends over the last 12 months plus the current month. Again, the use of the line chart here or the trend section is the same thing. You have the optional metric where you can combine multiple metric or you can change metric, and then you have the drill down option where you can change the view from daily breakdown to weekly breakdown, and then again to monthly breakdown. And then you can see performance by country and performance by device category, both of which also have optional metrics that you can change, that you can use to analyze performance by device category. For this particular page, the default metric is total user across all the charts except the KPI section where each metrics have their own section. And then the last section is the of this page is this table. it has its own filter, the landing page filter, the first user campaign filter, and then it has an advanced filter that allows you to analyze by landing page. So you can analyze which landing page that has things in common. Maybe they contain certain words, or they equal certain, or they start with the same thing. I can also use regex and in to analyze this page. But since this page is about user acquisition, you can see that the default dimension here are the first user default channel group, which tells you which channel are sending users to to your website for the first time. So they are recording the first visit, the first session, and attributing each user to the first session, to their first session, and it's going to remain the same for the rest of the lifetime of that user on your website, for your website. So you can see the first user default group. You can analyze by just one or multiple, like I explained earlier. The same thing as first user, source, and medium, to know the source and the medium of the that send the user, that brought the user to your website for the first time. And then, as you can see, it also has the optional metric icon, which means you can add multiple metrics here. The default one are total user, active users, new users, conversions, and user conversion rate. So you can always remove some of these and add the ones that you want. For example, majority of the website might just want to see conversion, overall conversions, and the overall user conversion rate. Conversion might be purchase, add to cart, begin checkout. This conversion also make key event, which means it's showing you the value for all the custom or act the custom automatic events that you mark as key events in your GA4 property. But sometimes, especially if you're an e-commerce store, you might just want to see the conversion for just the purchase event. So you might just remove the conversions here and the user conversion rate and change it to transaction, which is the same thing as purchase event, and then the user conversion or purchase rate, to just see how your e-commerce store is performing. So as you can see, the dashboard has been populated by the new has been the changes have been applied here. So you can always click on this back arrow key to go back to the default metrics. And then you have the drill down option here. Like, so if you can see the default one is the channel group. But if you click on here, you can see the source and medium. And then you can also see the campaign. You can see the landing page, and you can see the country. You can see the region. You can see the city. So all the dimension, you can click until you see all these dimensions, depending on what you want to analyze by. And you can apply the filter on multiple location or multiple places to for better analysis. But since we are we are concerned about how which channel is bringing new users to our website, first time customer, first time visitor, first time shopper. So the default dimension is the user default channel group. But you can also always change to the rest of this dimension or analyze by them. So the next page of this dashboard is the traffic acquisition page. The question is, what is the difference between the user acquisition and the traffic acquisition? Like I said earlier, user acquisition tells you which channel is bringing users to your website for the first time. And I made a scenario that if a user come to your website via YouTube and came back via Google search, the user acquisition report will always tell you that user is from YouTube. It doesn't matter which other channel brought the user back after the first visit. User acquisition only report the first visit, and it's very good at analyzing which channel is bringing new users to your website. However, the traffic acquisition report tells you where your traffic are coming from. So if the same user that came from YouTube yesterday came back from Google search today and comes back to your website from Google Ads or Google search again tomorrow, the traffic acquisition will attribute each session to their source. So the traffic acquisition will report the first session, the source of the first session as YouTube, the source of the second session as Google search, and the source of the third session as Google has or any other channel. So it gives you the complete breakdown, granular details about where each of your session of visits are coming from. This is the traffic acquisition report is what most marketers use. But if you're a SaaS company, you most likely use the user acquisition a lot because it tells you which channel is actually acquiring new user to your website. So for this traffic acquisition page, you have the key metrics here: sessions, engaged sessions, views, session conversion rate, engagement rate, average engagement time per session. And then they work the same thing as the rest of the key metrics section that I've explained before. They are greater value for the selected date range, comparison to the previous period, and then you can see the trend over the last 12 months plus the current month. And then you have performance again by country, by device category, and you can always use the optional metric to change the metric you want to analyze by. The same thing as the trend section is similar to the one that we've been seeing before. So you can use the optional metric to change or combine multiple metrics, and then you can use the drill down option to change from the daily breakdown, which is the default view, to weekly and then monthly breakdown. And at the bottom again is the breakdown table, but the dimension here is the session default channel group because we want granular details to the session at the session level. So it's telling you, it's breaking down each traffic by each visit. So the default metrics here are sessions, engaged session, conversion, and session conversion rate. And like the table we've seen before, it's comparing to the previous period. And you can also see the total for each metric here. Like before, you can also change the metric here. You can remove the current one, and just change it and just change them to the ones that you want to actually analyze by. And then you can use the drill down option to change the dimension here. The default one is the session default channel group. But if you know that, okay, your trader the most the second channel sending traffic to your website is organic search. Okay, you want to see the session source and medium, you can just uh filter by just organic search and just come down and click on this drop down to see the session source and medium. Okay, maybe it's from organic, Google organic, maybe from Bing organic, maybe from Yahoo organic. So you know which type of organic search are actually sending those organic search visitors. You can also click on it to see the session campaign, and you can continuously click on it to analyze by each of these dimensions, as you can see in yellow color here. And that's it about the traffic acquisition page. Then we have the content analysis page. The content analysis page gives you an overview of how each pages on your website are performing. So how many times have that pages been viewed? How many users have viewed that page? How many views are each on average at each user viewing before they leave? How many sessions? And per how many views per session in a single session, how many views do is a particular page having? And then you have the engagement rates, you have the average engagement time per user, and then they work the same thing as before. And then you can see the top performing pages here immediately by views, but you can also change the metrics here. And then you have a great bubble chart here, which is giving you performance by view and engagement rate. The further to the left the circle is, the more views that it has, and the higher it is, the more engagement rate it has, and the bigger it is, the more users it has, that the particular page has. So you can see the home page has the most users. That's why it has the biggest circle here, except for the not set this thing and not set, which it might be configuration issue. You can always exclude this in your report if you want. And then you can see this one at the top. You can see they have high engagement rate, so you can use it to analyze which pages on your website have a lot of views but very low engagement rate, and that can help you inform your content optimizing, optimize your content for better user experience. And then you can see the full breakdown of each page is here. How many views compared to the previous period, total user, average views per users, engagement rate, and you can always change the or add multiple metrics here. And you can also drill down to this. So here you see the page here, but you can drill up from campaign to source and medium to channel group, and you can drill down from to country, region, city, and every other thing here. So that's how the content analysis page work. And then the next page is the landing page analysis. Again, this is again, people are people you can be confused about what's the difference between content analysis and landing page analysis. Relatively the same page, essentially the same page. It's the same question people ask: what's the difference between user acquisition and the traffic acquisition? The difference between content analysis and landing page analysis report is that content analysis just tell you everything about that page. How many times has it been viewed? How many users have viewed it? It doesn't matter whether it's the first page user visit when they come to your website. But the landing page is very, very different. Landing page only care about the first page user visit in a given session. So if a user come to your website right now, the first page they visit for that particular session or visit is going to be the landing page. If you view another page after that, the landing page report is not going to report it, but the content analysis report we do. So that's the difference. The landing page reports the first page of each session. So if so, there can be multiple. A single user can have multiple sessions. If they come today, that's one session. If they return tomorrow, that's another session. And each session can have multiple view. So if you view product A, page one, product B, and a multiple page, so the content analysis page will give you all of this report. While the landing page will only tells you, gives you reports and the metrics about the first page that the user actually visited when they come to your website. So the key metrics here are sessions, total users, new users, engaged session, total revenue, average engagement time per session. The landing page tell you how your landing page are performing, and then the section are similar here. You have the strength section, and then you have the performance by session and session conversion rate. So you can see the further to the right, the more session it has, the bigger the circle is, the more conversion that particular page has, and the higher it is, the higher the session conversion rate. So you can use it to analyze how many which pages on your website have a lot of conversion, have a lot of session but low conversion rate, and then something like that. So it allows you to inform, optimize your landing page better for better conversions. And then at the bottom of the uh landing page analysis page is another table. So they have the default dimension here is the landing page. So you see how each pages are doing, which pages are user first landing on when they come to your website, how many session does it have compared to the previous period, how many users have visited, first landed on it, how many conversion is attributed to each of these landing page, and what is the conversion rate. And then you can also use optional metric here to change the metric you want to analyze by, and you can also use the drill down and drill up option. As can this, the landing page is here. So if you click on this drill up, you go to campaign, source and medium, and then to channel group. If you use the drill down option, you go from to country, region, city. But the main dimension is the landing page. We only include all the rest of the dimension for better analysis and for you to do this analysis in a single page without having to click around the dashboard. And then you have the landing page filter here, the session campaign filter here, and they have the advanced landing page filter here. So let's say you want to analyze just the category that contain the shop. So you can say slash shop and then click enter. So the landing page, this table will now be showing you the entire dashboard will be filtered by just the landing pages that contain this parameter. So as you can see, only shop, 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 shop. So you can also change this to the one that starts with any particular words equal any particular time. Also use regex for advanced analysis. Then the next page is the event analysis page. So the key metrics here are the event count, how many time as that as event custom and then automatic event occurred. You add the total user, events per user, event per session, sessions, event value, and then you see the top performing key events here, key events or conversion. These are custom or automatic event that you have marked as key events in your GA4 properties. So this is an e-commerce store, so you can see the key events are view item, add to cart, and then purchase. But you can also see the top performing events in general. So as you can see, the top performing key events are not the same thing as the top performing events. So that's why you separate it. They are very different sometimes. Sometimes they are the same thing. So as you can see, the last section of this dashboard, you also have the advanced filter for landing page. You have the key event filter here, so you can filter by each key event, and then you have the session source and medium, and then you have the rest of the filter here, like event in country, device, session source, session default channel group. And then you have the key dimensions here. Again, the most important one for this particular page is the event name, but you can always drill down to every single one of these dimensions again for better analysis. So you have the key events here, which will be the same thing as the event count for just the key events. So you can see when the event name are the key event, it will be the same thing here. But as you can see, page views, it's not a key event, so it reports 0, and the event can't report the actual page views for the entire website. And you can see the total here. You can always drill down, and you have optional metrics here to change the default metric for better and more deeper and granular analysis. So the next page of this dashboard is the e-commerce analysis page. This e-commerce allow you to analyze how each product category, and product brand are performing on your website. The key metrics here are item revenue, item purchased, item viewed, items added to cart, item checked out, and item purchased to add to cart rate. And the key metric section is the same thing as before. The aggregated value for the selected date range, compare it to the previous period, and then performance over the last uh, 12 months plus the current month. And then you can see at the sidebar, you can see user purchase funnel. It tells you how user move from one stage of your funnel to the other. So how many users started the session, how many of those that started the session viewed an item, and you can see both the user and then the percentage here. And then you can see how many of those users added something to cart, how many of them begin the checkout process, and how many of them eventually purchase something. So you can see how users move from one stage of funnel to the other using this particular chart here. And then the trend section again is the same thing. The default one is the item revenue, but you can always change it or combine it with other metrics. And you can click on this to go from the daily breakdown to the weekly breakdown, and then to monthly breakdown. And then lastly, you have the table here where the default dimension is the item name, but you can always click on the drill down icon here to go from item name to item category, as you can see, and then to item brand, as you can see here. You can always click on this back arrow key to go back to the default dimension, and then you can click on this metric, the icon, optional metric icon, to select another metric that you want to analyze by. Like every other table is comparing to the previous period, and you have advanced a filter again for item name and then item category. Let's say you just want to analyze by product that contain the word Dino. Please understand that this is case sensitive. If you type Dino with small letter D, you will have no data. Let's try that. This filter is case sensitive. As you can see, no data. The entire dashboard is empty. But if you change that to capital D and hit enter, now you're analyzing by all the item that contains the word Dino. As you can see, the purchase funnel has come down here, but you can always restart the reload the dashboard. Local Studio does misbehave sometimes, so you will do that again to show you that it's just a one-time thing. So let's analyze by Dino. Boom, you can see the purchase funnel stay where it's supposed to. So you're now analyzing the entire dashboard, the entire section of this dashboard by product that contain this particular name. So you can also change the content to equals, start with, regex, and in. So you can do a lot of advanced analysis with this advanced filter. So that's all about the walkthrough video, about this walkthrough video of my GA4 local studio template. You can also click on reset to go back to the default setting for all the page at once. And then to make a copy of this dashboard, you have to get it. Just click on here. If you like what you see, if you believe this can help you reduce manual reporting time or help you do better analysis, you can click on this button to get this dashboard. Just click on here, just click on this link, and it will take you to where you can purchase the dashboard. But yeah, once you get, you can make a copy here. Just click on make a copy, select your own GA4 property, and the dashboard will be populated by your own GA4 data. But you can always use this dashboard for free. Just click on this, just click on the link that I'll leave in the description and the first comment, and then once you load the demo, this demo dashboard, select your own GA4 property using this data control, and the entire dashboard will be populated by your own GA4 data. So you don't really need to get the dashboard. But if you believe you don't want to be always clicking on this, and maybe you want to brand it, you want to use it for client reporting, or you just want to be able to edit some of these metrics and dimension here, you will need to actually get the template. So as you can see, you can get the template here, and then to get the dashboard. That's all about this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.